In our world today, it feels like we are always connected. Our phones buzz with messages, our calendars are filled with plans. There is always something to watch. There is always something to listen to. There is always something to do. We are surrounded by noise. We are surrounded by people. We are surrounded by expectations. And in the middle of all this activity, the idea of being truly alone can feel a little bit scary. It can feel like we're missing out on something important, or that being by ourselves means we are not wanted. This fear of quiet, this fear of being just with ourselves, is something many of us carry. We fill every empty moment with distraction. We avoid the stillness because we are not sure what we will find there. This avoidance of solitude is deeply human. We are social creatures. We thrive on connection. We share our lives with others. But somewhere along the way, we began to believe being alone was the same as being lonely. We started to see an empty room as a sign of failure rather than an opportunity for peace. The constant hum of the world outside has made us forget the gentle music within. We have become so used to the crowd that we feel lost when we're the only one in the room. Yet some of the most profound conversations we ever have are the ones with ourselves. I've seen it in many people, and I've felt it in my own life. And solitude is not about shutting the world out. It is about letting yourself in. Think of it as a gentle invitation from your own spirit, asking you to come and sit for a while, to listen without judgment, and to just be. In the rush of our daily lives, we often wear so many different hats. We are parents, we are partners, we are employees, we are friends. We are constantly giving pieces of ourselves away, tending to the needs of others. And while that is a beautiful part of a full life, we can sometimes forget who we are underneath all those roles. Solitude offers us a precious opportunity to take off the hats, to set down the responsibilities, and to simply exist as ourselves, for ourselves. It is a sacred pause in the middle of a busy world. This idea of valuable alone time might feel new, but it is an ancient wisdom. Throughout history, thinkers, artists, spiritual leaders have sought out solitude to find clarity and inspiration. They understood that in the quiet, away from the demands and opinions of others, they could hear a deeper truth. It is in these moments of stillness that the seeds of great ideas are often planted. It is where we can process our experiences, make sense of our emotions, and find the strength to move forward. Think about how many voices you listen to in a single day. You hear the news, you hear your boss, you hear your family, you see opinions all over social media. Everyone has something to say, and we absorb it all, often without even realizing it. These outside voices can be so loud that they start to sound like our own. We can begin to confuse what other people want for us with what we truly want for ourselves. Script written by society, script written by our family, script written by our fears, and we lose touch with our own authentic desires. Our inner voice, that quiet whisper of intuition, gets buried under layers of external noise. Spending time alone is like creating a clearing in a dense forest. It is in this clearing that you can finally get some perspective. When you step away from the constant influx of other people's thoughts and feelings, you create the space to check in with yourself. How are you really doing? Not the "I'm fine" you tell everyone else, but the real, honest-to-goodness truth. Solitude allows you to sit with your emotions without having to explain them or justify them to anyone. You can feel your joy, your sadness, your frustration, or your peace, and simply let it be. This is how you begin to build a relationship of trust with your own emotional world. It is in these moments of quiet reflection that you can ask yourself the big questions. Am I happy with the path I am on? I will be the first to tell you, for a long time I did not know the value of being alone. My life was, and in many ways still is, very full. Full of people, full of work, full of noise. I was always on, always moving, always connecting with others, and I loved that part of my life. But I came to a point where I realized I was exhausted, not just physically, but spiritually. I felt like I was giving so much of myself away that there was very little left for me. I was so busy listening to everyone else's stories that I had stopped listening to my own. My inner well was running dry, and I knew I had to do something about it. My first real intentional step into solitude was deciding to spend quiet time at my home, just by myself. At first it felt strange. The silence was so loud. My mind immediately filled with my to-do list, with worries, with all the things I felt I should be doing instead of just sitting there. I had to consciously resist the urge to turn on the television, to pick up the phone, or to find some other distraction. I remember just sitting on my porch, looking out at the trees, and forcing myself to just breathe. Creativity is not just for artists and musicians, it is the life force that lives inside every single one of us. It's how we solve problems, how we express ourselves, how we bring new ideas into the world. But for creativity to blossom, it needs the right conditions. It needs space, it needs quiet, it needs freedom from judgment. So think of your creative spirit like a shy little seedling. In a crowded, noisy room full of opinions and expectations, it can be pretty difficult for that seedling to push its way through the soil. It's afraid of being trampled on, of being told it's not good enough before it even has a chance to grow. Solitude is like a private garden for your creativity. When you are alone, you're free from the pressure of an audience. You can experiment, you can make mistakes, you can be messy and imperfect. There's no one there to tell you that's not the right way to do it or that will never work. It's just you and your imagination. This freedom is absolutely essential for the creative process. It allows you to follow a wild idea without having to justify it. It's in these moments of unstructured, solitary play that some of the most brilliant innovations and beautiful works of art are born. The mind is allowed to wander, to make unexpected connections, and to dream without limits. It is so important that we understand this one thing. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. This is a distinction that can change your entire relationship with yourself. Loneliness is a painful feeling of disconnection, of being isolated against your will. It is a state of lack. It is the feeling that something is missing, a connection, a companion, a sense of belonging. Loneliness is a negative space, one that we naturally want to escape. It is a passive state that happens to you, leaving you feeling empty and sad. It is a pang in your heart that comes from a deep human need for connection that is not being met. Solitude, on the other hand, is something entirely different. Solitude is a choice. It is the positive, enriching experience of being by yourself. It is a state of fullness, not emptiness. When you choose solitude, you are not running away from others. You are intentionally moving toward yourself. It is an active state that you create for yourself, a time for introspection, rest, peaceful companionship with your own soul. It is about enjoying your own company and finding a sense of completeness from within. The idea of spending time alone can feel daunting if it is not something you are used to. You do not have to book a week-long silent retreat to begin. The journey into solitude can start with small, gentle steps. It is all about finding little pockets of time in your day and dedicating them to yourself. The key is to be intentional. Do not just let it happen, make it happen. Start with just 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Find a quiet corner in your home, turn off your phone, close your computer, just sit. You do not have to do anything profound, just be there. Notice your breath, notice the light in the room, let it be simple. One of the easiest ways to start is by creating a simple ritual. Wake up 15 minutes earlier than everyone else to enjoy a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in silence. Sit by a window and watch the world wake up. This is your time, before the demands of the day begin. Take a short walk by yourself during your lunch break. It might seem like a contradiction, but one of the most beautiful and surprising benefits of spending time alone is that it can actually improve your relationships with other people. When you take the time to recharge your own batteries and connect with your own inner world, you have so much more to give to the people you love. You are no longer showing up to your relationships feeling depleted, resentful, running on empty. You are showing up as a whole person, filled up from your own well, ready to connect from a place of abundance rather than need. Our world will always be a busy, noisy place. The demands on our time and attention are not going to disappear, but we do not have to be swept away by the current. We have the power to create our own islands of peace, our own sacred sanctuaries of quiet. This is the power of solitude. It is about understanding that your relationship with yourself is the foundation upon which every other part of your life is built. Embracing solitude is a journey of self-love. It is a declaration that you are worthy of your own time and attention. You have everything you need right there inside of you, waiting to be discovered in the quiet. More often than not, it is a quiet walk taken alone. It is in that stillness that you will find your strength, your clarity, your purpose.